So in the previous videos, I made a apron front cabinet for our laundry room remodel, and so this video I'm going to be making the countertop for that. So we're going to start with cross-cutting the rough lumber. You can see here the three pieces we got out of it. The next step is dimensioning these live edge pieces. Cut off the live edges, get the top jointed. Go ahead and plane it, but yeah, a little out of breath. These don't look that heavy, but they are. They're about 6 to 8 quarter pieces thickness, and chestnut oak, so definitely dense, solid wood. So we'll get these dimensions next. So here I'm using the track saw to cut off the live edge on these pieces. You could also use a circular saw and a straight edge, or if you have a big enough bandsaw, you could use that just to cut the live edge off. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, just reasonably so. I also have a table saw jig to do this, but it's difficult to use with bigger pieces like this that weigh a lot. So it's much easier to just use the track saw and have it sit on the ground. Now that one live edge is off with the track saw, I have a straight edge I can put against the fence of my table saw. This makes cutting off the other live edge really easy. For the next step, I took the pieces and ran them through the joiner. The pieces were all too wide. I have an 8-inch joiner, but they were all 8 inches or wider. This piece was actually just over 8 inches. So I let the side of it, the edge that is closest to the camera, hang over the side of the table, and I jointed what I can using this method here. And you'll see in the next step when I go to plane, I actually have a little jig. It's that white portion underneath the planer, so that forces the piece to reference the flat area that I just jointed. So we jointed one face flat, and then put that flat face against this white jig here. And I actually learned this from Matt Cremona. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, he's got a lot of really neat videos, sawmill videos as well as shop videos, and I learned this technique from him. We got one side taken care of. Pretty cool looking. Got some ray fleck action, which is always neat. Some ray flecks in there. So it looks like a good piece. It's amazing what a little planing can do. Now I'm going to take the jig out and flip it so we can get the other side flat. So now this is just basically rinse and repeat at this point. Do the same thing with all of the pieces. Joint the one face and then plane the second face. So my little dust collector's filled up, so I gotta stop, but take a look at this piece. Really interesting with the section here, the bark inclusion. Sounds like the little one's up, so this is as much as I'm going to get done right here now. She's making some noise on the baby monitor, so it's a good place to stop for now. This is actually the nicest of the three pieces. Pretty cool because you see the heartwood. You got some ray fleck. So I'm going to try it. When we do the glue up, I'm going to put this piece somewhere more prominent. Others are not quite as nice looking. But anyway, we have this face here and this face are now parallel to each other. We jointed it and we used the planer to take care of the other side to match the jointed face. The issue now is like a square. Wow, that's entirely square. That's not helping my case here. This side, luck would have it, ended up square. I However, the other side here is not square. So if I do this and I do the glue up with another piece that's not square, it's going to want to lift up in the middle. It's not going to end up well for us. So what we want to do is, I'm just going to use the table saw. That's a straight edge on this one, so we're not even going to mess with that side. But what I want to do is cut, put this side on the fence and then cut this side on the table saw. And that will now make this side square with the either face, both faces in this case. I'm going to do that for all the boards. That way all the edges are square with the faces. It's going to make the glue up go a lot easier. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So just as a note, in this video here I'm obviously making a countertop for our laundry room, but the steps here are the same as if you were making a tabletop or any other type of flat surface where you need to make a panel like I'm making here. So I did my layout. I made a template for the sink. So I have some imperfections here that I'm going to have cut out because the sink's going to go here-ish. Then the other thing, the ends are going to get trimmed because I cut them too long on purpose, so some of these cracks are going to go away. I'm doing two pieces right now just because my planer is 20 inches wide and this is going to be just under 20 inches, so then I'll do this glue up and then plane it instead of having to sand it all, and then I'll add the other piece on this side and then I'll have to sand that one because I can't plane past 20 inches. So that's the plan. Glue this up, plane, and then add my last piece on the back end here, do one more glue up, and then start dimensioning this for the final countertop dimension. So the front piece here is the nicest piece. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Everything's nice and flat, as flat as I can get it. The rest will plane out. Glue's not really going everywhere, so we're gonna let this sit overnight and then plane it, then add the final piece. Alright, so we have the piece now from the glue up. So this is going to be the front, this is going to be the back. So what I've done is, the front is a straight edge and we're going to reference everything to the front. So when I glued this all up, really this should be parallel to this, but in case it's not, we're not even going to reference that, we're only going to reference this front edge. So what I did was, I took my square referencing the front edge, and drew a line. I'm trying to cut out some of this, these defects, basically the drying defects, and also my planer had some chip out there. So this is why I always glue it up larger than I need. Glued it up probably too large, really wasted a little bit of material, but as you can see, it kind of checked on the end, so that's fine. But same thing I did on this side. So reference this front edge again, drew it square, continue the line on. And then what I did was I measured up this line 24.5 on either side, and then drew that line, and that's going to be the final dimension. So I oversized it in both the width and the length. That way I can cut it down, make everything perfectly sized. So we get the track saw, I'm going to cut this side, then cut that side, and then cut the back, and then we're going to plan for where the sink's going to go. Cut the sink out and then round the edges off, do some sanding, and get it all ready for stain. I got the cutout for the sink drawn. Basically, I look the sink's mounted right now in the laundry room. So what I did was I got the measurements of how far in from each end to take the sink cutout. And I just set it to my square here to the right offset and trace the line. That way I did the same thing, a line this way. And then I made a template of the sink inside where I want it to sit, where I want the counter to sit. And I lined it up with the line here, as well as the line here. Let's go ahead and went ahead and traced it. So we got the cutout here. So this is going to be cut out. And so what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to find a hole saw that's the right radius. And I'm going to basically drill there, then drill there to get that radius. Then I'm going to take the track saw up as far as I can. I'm going to finish that off with the jigsaw. Do the same thing on this side, and then this is going to be the trickiest part here, since I can't start cutting. I actually have to use a track saw. What I plan on doing is plunging it. Starting say here, plunging from here to here, and I'll have to connect it with the jigsaw. So that's gonna be fun. In fact, I'll probably do that first, and then do these cuts next. But it's gonna be scary doing that, but we'll get it going. That's all it took there. Now there and there. So, this should be free now. Beautiful. This is where the sink's gonna end up going. Good, good, good. We got very close where we wanted to be. We're gonna sand the rest to make it perfect, but looks very good overall. This is the last step before final sanding and the staining, as well as clear coat, which I did off camera. In the next video, you're going to see the installation of all the cabinets, including this apron front cabinet, along with the sink, which will complete the laundry room remodel. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, ask any questions down below here, and we'll see you in the next video.